I'm Katie Santos from Absolute Center. We're in Lafayette, California, and we are a Pilates and fitness studio. It's been here for about 15 years. We've recently, in the last couple of years, brought on a program called Absolute Endeavor that is a SCI-focused post-rehab program. These are two of our trainers, Stephanie Barrett and Rachel Kahn, and they're really the reason that we started in earnest this Endeavor program. At the same time, Stephanie came wandering into our purview and brought her clients in with us, and we started this Endeavor program. We brought Rachel on board, and we've been having some really good success. I would say now we've got maybe between eight or so clients that are active, 8+.
Yeah, active right now.
Yeah. Bringing on a couple of extra trainers. And I'm going to let the girls talk a little bit more about the specifics of what our work does and the differences that it's made in our clients' lives.
Okay, so Rachel and I found that there was some things missing in the SCI recovery kind of protocol, the popular protocols that are out there. And so we wanted to come to a place that offered a little bit more opportunity for mindful movement, attention to detail, working through joint mechanics and biomechanics that were a little bit more structurally sound and that trained the body in a way that was safe for the body and also offered lasting change that someone could carry outside of the studio. So it wasn't just kind of this program that was fun to do and felt good inside the studio, but also something that someone could take home with them.
Okay, my name's Raj Chabra. I live in Berkeley, California, and I started at Absolute Center here about a month ago. I've had 2 sessions, and it's a very interesting program just to get on the ground, to feel the ground, and to sense different things. I've done a variety of things and explored many different things from this to an exoskeleton to Feldenkrais to other traditional physical therapy, acupuncture. We exploring it all, but this is a very interesting thing that I'm really looking forward to continuing to explore.
I'm Rachel Kahn, and I've been working here for a few years now, but I've been in the world of SCI for 4 or 5 years, and this is the kind of work that is gentle, where it's not going to beat somebody's body up, but it's we work on alignment, we work on doing things correctly, and for example, maybe in the fitness world, instead of doing 100 push-ups with awful form, we're going to do 1 really beautiful push-up with correct form. So we kind of take that and we translate it into this world for people with spinal cord injuries, and we really focus on doing things right so that it can have a lasting impact and can turn into more functional uses for them.
And the idea is to sort of change how the nervous system works and how it goes through the joints and working around areas of injury and things like that so that clients can carry this outside of the studio.
Working on integration of the entire system is what our program is built on, and we draw from Pilates, definitely. We draw from primal movements, baby motor development patterns, our fitness exercise, science, training in gait.
Yeah, the fascial lines is a really big one. So the connective tissue system through the body.
You've seen some pretty good changes. And
some really big changes. Yeah.
So our clients come in with a lot of different types of goals. Some want to sit up taller. Some want to be able to push a manual wheelchair instead of an electric chair. Some want to stand up and walk again. So we have a wide variety of individuals that come work with us, and we're ready to tackle any goals that they come to us with. And maybe Rachel can speak to some of the things that she's seen her clients achieve.
Yeah, so I think, speaking in terms of the goals that clients want to have, just being able to sit upright in their wheelchair, being able to access, not just the muscles in their upper back, but in their lower back so they can sit nice and tall. Or having a client being able to stand up and push through his legs so his legs completely lock out with his hips forward. So, different goals, but similar but different ways of getting there for each client. We have another client who a couple of years ago just said she wanted to hold a mug of coffee, and she eventually got there. So when a client comes to us with a goal, we look at them and we assess their body, and we're basically trying to use what they have connection or access to in order to access the muscles and the connective tissue that they don't have access to. So if somebody wants to sit up a little bit straighter in their wheelchair and they have access to parts of their arms or their upper body, we're going to use those connections to try and establish connections kind of lower and throughout the body to try to gain access to what they don't have. So, if they have those connections to the upper back, then we want to connect to their mid back, and then we want to eventually find the connection to their lower back. So we're kind of working through all of the systems that we talked about to achieve that.
The way we do that is through connective tissue called fascia. We use fascial lines that actually start at the base of your neck, and they kind of cross and run down the body in different patterns. And so we use those lines as a kind of a roadmap to trace down the body to access something that someone didn't have access to before. So if someone wanted to access and have more control and strength in their core, we would start with the arms and then trace down the fascial lines that go down from the arms, the shoulder blades, and then wrap down into the torso. From there, we've had a lot of success in that method. We've had a lot of success in helping people find their postural muscles that help them sit up taller. They'll be stronger in their sitting posture in order to reach for something while sitting in their wheelchair. They can reach for that bottle that's on the lower shelf, or be cooking in their kitchen. That method has also created a deeper sense of connection and control with the organs and the systems of the pelvis, and specifically I'm talking to bladder function. So we've had a few clients that the more they integrated their core, the deepest layers through the fascia, the more they've been able to have bladder control. We've had a client get off their Foley bag. Several. We've had someone now be able to do their own bowel program, and then also just people being able to be more aware of when they need to use the restroom, and then be able to actually have the independence, because they're sitting up taller, they have the independence to use the restroom on their own without assistance. So that's kind of a prime example of how we're helping people gain independence in a very functional way. Method or modality that we use quite a bit is a lot of the work on the floor. So the floor gives the individual an opportunity to explore their body and their movement in a safe space, without the fear of falling, without the fear of getting hurt, without much resistance against them except their own body weight and gravity, which is essential to get used to if you want to move around more on your own. So we do a lot of work on the floor, rolling around, learning how to sit yourself up from a laying down position, working on rolling belly to back, and then back to seated, and then working your way into quadruped, crawling. The biggest thing that we emphasize, though, is the progression. So it's not just getting on the floor and then having them crawl. It's getting on the floor, learning how to roll, learning how to sit up, learning how to get into that quadruped, and then we start to locomet. So there's a process that goes with the methods that we use. It's not just kind of a hit this, hit that. It's a building process. And the work that we've done on the floor has enabled our clients to understand that they can move themselves. They don't need a trainer to move them. They don't need a machine to move them or equipment. They can literally move themselves. And we've had several clients now, never on their own had gone on the floor and their own home programs, but now their homework and they do it, is to get on the floor and just explore. We give them a few things to work on, but I asked them, I said, what did you do on the floor this weekend? And they kind of said, oh, I just kind of felt where my body wanted to go. And I think that's very valuable because, again, it gives the individual an idea that they can move on their own, but then that in turn leads to self-confidence in their ability to be productive and contributing members of society. I've had a client say that she's never felt more alive and more comfortable and confident in her body than she has since doing the floor work. So that's been a big game changer for us.
People driving, we've had several clients that have become independent / strong enough to drive and now aren't limited to come to Pilates or go to the grocery store by either gaining upper body or hand functioning or simply just feeling confident with the strength that they've gained here to apply that to driving and being more independent. And then maybe to touch on ways that our program here is different than other programs out there is I think there's a lot of programs out there that focus more on kind of the fitness, let's get a good workout in side of the industry, and we're really more about doing things right in terms of alignment, progressing through the motor development stages of a baby, using the fascial lines of the body to try and connect to what they don't have access to, and using equipment in ways that we want to, using the floor in supportive ways that we want to, but doing it all efficiently and in a nice aligned manner that doesn't put extra stress on the body when they don't have the strength to rely on their muscles to hold them in a good upright posture. We only will progress them to the next phase of the motor development if we think that they're ready for it, because if they get to a standing position and it's sloppy and they're resting on their joints, it's not going to be fun for them later when they start to have pain and from compensation. So we really, in this program, we really focus on doing things with correct form and using that in a functional way to achieve whatever their goal might be.